Ooh, that resolution though. Let's do that. Because apparently something was going off with that. That was kind of awkward. Oof. Don't want to show that. Don't want to show that. All right. Let's begin the game and have some fun with the Stanley Bear parable. Because the end is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end. And then real quickly, let me just share this. Share.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley
then one
was
day,
happy.
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh. Time to play. You know, I've had this game for a long time, but I've never actually played it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nope, not a trace. Where am I going?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I have no idea where I'm going.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you, take it out aggressively on other coworkers, and then resent your coworkers for not supporting you.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go. I want to go to the executive bathroom. Oh, this one's not going to shut on me this time? Spoke too soon.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of
2845.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
You know, if I was the boss, I really would not have those kind of posters hanging up.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to input, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
That's kind of odd. His boss must be a drug dealer. Oh. There's no way through here. Okay. Bet that. Bet that. The end is never
Descending
the end.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Because he's going through a midlife crisis. He's unsure.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Can I zoom in? Push the big button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Turn on the cameras. The only button here. Employee observation protocol. I wish I could zoom in.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You can't jump. I earned an achievement. You can't jump. Employee 412.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Meh.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Oh,
Was this the
mind
only
control.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah. That's
No.
what we're
He
raised to do.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable.
Never!
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
But should I really? Should I really? These buttons don't do jack. The buttons don't do jack. There's a 3. One, 2. Three. Is there a 4? Oh, up there. Not sure what this is gonna do. Will it do anything? 4. Or is this just meaningless? I have no idea. 5.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I think I broke it at it. I broke it at it.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze
Hey.
upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way.
I want to see that
right
big old
now,
building that was
that
in.
things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, now I know this game has multiple endings, and I'm gonna try to hunt through them. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Back again.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Alright. Just turn off all the computers. Input received. That one's different. Let's hit the door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here
Trying
in
to
this
get the drink.
immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Can I get a drink?
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I don't even have $1.25. I'm broke. Make some coffee, maybe?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I'm gonna just click on everything. What am I fidgeting with? I'm not even clicking on anything,
At this
but you
point,
hear it.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and
Oh,
took
what
the
would have
first open
happened if
door
I
on
just
his
stayed
left
in there?
to get back to business.
Door on my left to get back to business? Nah, I'm good.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie if you are lying right now. Stop it. A4. A14. A14. Okay, penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story is... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something
Bye-bye.
beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No. I don't wanna. Where am I going? Where am I going? Nope, nowhere. Do not stand on this side of the fence.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
What would happen if I go through the red door? What would happen if I go on the right door? Does it even matter? I'm gonna go through the blue door, considering...
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door, please.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road
Sure.
you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yes.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes,
You
it
don't think
did.
I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill
Dragons.
trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh, world leaderboard. Offline, offline, offline. 21.3%. To get to the correct door. I'm ranked 9,328.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yes,
I
it
nearly
did.
forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Sure.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Sure.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Why is it so loud? That is loud. Yeah, you thought. Oh, yeah. This is the way you play the game. Okay, let's see. Let's get a close-up shot.
You heartless bastard.
Ah,
Did you
yes,
do
I
it
am.
because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Despite
because if it's
you.
the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you doing?
Yes, this
No.
seems like it'll work. Let's give it
No.
a shot.
What are we doing? What game are we playing?
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Yes.
At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I
can't
had
jump.
absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Yes.
Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley.
Good for you.
I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then...
Build that house, bro. Build that house.
See, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete.
That's a starter
I made
home right
this,
there if
Stanley.
I ever saw one.
Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel
can't open the
ashamed at
door.
your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Do I go in or do I stay out? Go in or stay out? I'll go in. I'll bite.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond
Yeah.
everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Well, considering I can't really jump, there's no real way.
Oh, my. It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
I can't jump. There's some coal. We can make a torch.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant.
Ooh.
This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Ooh, I just heard a skeleton. Wonder what would have happened if I would have made it there. New game. Hey, portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You trapped in a
That
glass
wasn't in the-
box with
that
no
wasn't
way
in the
out,
original
listening
game.
to me talk. Oh, it's inspired.
Oh, wait.
I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
What the in the toilet? I still can't jump. Hey, I can crouch. I'm gonna teabag the narrator. I forgot.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
Yes, I am a genius.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're
Should've
any
brought that
wiser for
radio.
the experience.
Jack the door
Which is
open.
why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings.
Getting kind of salty, aren't you? I never got my portal gun. I don't think I was supposed to go through there. I've never... 508? Yo. What? Okay. Did I go the wrong way?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap
I don't
everything up in
need
the
you.
end to make sense out of the chaos
I don't need
and
anybody.
fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after
Let
it
me
all
go.
comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Let me go.
The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Let me go.
I can wait.
No, you can't. What are we doing? We're just on a black screen. There it goes. So he just restarts
Someone
it,
was
all
following
willy-nilly.
Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Nobody's following this dude. You keep shutting the doors behind me. Ooh, let's go to that broom closet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
Guarantee
the
you
door
there
on
was
his
something
left.
with that. There was something with that broom closet. That one's not. That one's not numbered.
Yet there was not a single person here
You're not
either.
ultra without
Feeling
consulting
a wave
White
of
Lord
disbelief,
first.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing
you're
so
not.
much in this room. Please take your time.
I'm spending time with my broom, Mom. Leave me alone. I'm playing Minecraft. I think that's an overused meme. At this point, that's an overused meme. Oh. You gonna say something? We're gonna stay in here all day. What are you gonna do about it? This is my room now. I'm gonna make this my home. We're just gonna open and shut the door. We're gonna hide away. This is my home now. This is my home now. This is my home now.
Coming to a staircase,
No!
Stanley walks upstairs to his boss's office.
Nah, I'm gonna go downstairs, bro. What are you hiding from me? What are you hiding from me?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd
meta.
and wondered if this voice spoke to all
meta
people in their
AF.
dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
He's woke.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
If you say so.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
No,
I wish
you're
it
not.
to be over.
Nope.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
No, you don't.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Nope.
Everything will be fine.
Never.
I am okay.
Open your eyes, Stanley.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear
Panic
my voice?
attack or
Who
heart
am
attack?
I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Panic attack or heart attack?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Yellow.
And then she turned and ran.
What? Give me just a second. I gotta mute my mic. Ooh, sorry about that, everybody. That sucks. Ugh. Very unprofessional. Oh, we're back.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh. Hey. Let me get out the window. Can you get out the window? How do you... Let me go. Oh, you can crouch. Oh, I found a secret.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now.
Nope.
You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points
Begin
and
the
so
game
many,
again.
many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Oh, daisy.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
How long does this song go? What are we doing? That's a loop, isn't it? I'm a teabagger. Okay. Let's start again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna go to that broom closet. Let's go to the broom closet. Wait. The hell? That's...
When Stanley
different.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That was slightly different.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How do I open the door?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Did I really, though? To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. That's one heck of a lesson. Why would you put a gun to a panda's head? Let's go up. Why would there be a poster? Bum 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 bum. Anybody else hear that? Is that me? I'm singing along to the song. I was singing along to the song. I couldn't get out. Yeah, you can't get out when you hit the button. Ooh, what did I just do? Stanley is singing along to the song. Or is that the narrator? He is singing along to the song. Okay. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that was a narrator or if it was him. What was it? It was 2548?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I was trying to get out before it went down. Okay, that was kind of interesting. That was a little interesting. The fact that he was singing along in the elevator, that was funny. Alright, where are
Stanley
we going?
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
We're
Facility.
gonna go to the escape
Although
this time.
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had to. Nope, still on board with death.
Oh, no more talking? How long is this hallway?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
How did it know that I was looking back? Let's see what happens if I go back through the door and then back through. Or will that throw off the game? That might throw off the game if I do that. Let's go through. Nope. Alright, we're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna see what happens. It's a long hallway. A very long hallway. stuck on obstacles.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
If I'll walk all the way back? I should really just pick one direction. I just wanted to see if I could trigger the narrator. Can I trigger the narrator? Yep, okay. I'm committed. I'm just gonna hold W. Let's see what he says. Should I go down? And I'm dead. Maybe. How am I alive?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I didn't die. That's cool, I guess.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The two doors. A set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley's Parables design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room imposed. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. Through the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Credits. The selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized note. The office. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. How do I go back? Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we sent out to ask people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially plans to use these in further promotional materials, we were never found the perfect. Oh. I wasn't ready to get to the explanation of everything. I was still looking for endings. Zending model? Zending levers. I never saw that portion of the game. Okay, this is like a big old maze. One option, two options. It's a vent. Meeting room. The apartment timer. See, I don't know these endings yet. Early development. Well, this is interesting. How do I get back to the actual game, though? See, I only saw that boss's office. I haven't seen the other ones. Narration outtakes. Okay. I'm just trying to get out of here. It's like a maze. Was this designed to be a maze? Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Hey.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
Is there anything after that? I'm assuming not. Let's begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it
think there's
advance
an
the story
achievement that you
in
can
any
get.
way.
Think. Oh. Think. Maybe. Ah, see. They switched up the office. There's some more endings that I want to explore.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Nope.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell
He's
me you're scared.
encouraging me
That's
to
not the
jump.
Stanley I know. Do it! 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 Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
How clumsy of me. The end is never the end is never the end. I need to go back and
Just
see
a
if my
step
broom
through this
closet is
door,
still
Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, I'm gonna see if my broom closet is open. Because I didn't get a chance to.
Yet there was not a single
do
person
that
here
ending.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided
It's
to
still
go up to
closed.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
I am
And then
crazy.
something occurred to Stanley. Maybe,
I
he
am
thought to himself,
crazy.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah,
Why did-
okay. I need to redo this because apparently I'm redoing a different ending that I've already done.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
He blocked off my broom cupboard.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to
Let's
the meeting
do
room,
this.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I didn't go through
And
here
so
yet.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. We're going down. We're going down. It's going down for real. Because I'm cringe. Just like that, I'm
But Stanley
cringe.
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
I should have went through that door.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Can I really not open any of these? Let me open the door. Oh, okay.
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Well, for a second there, I was stuck.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break, you guys. Give me just a second. Yellow. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, where was I?
When Stanley... Wait, what?
What?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
Nope.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ooh. Doesn't matter which way we go. I want to get over on here. Can I get up on there? Ooh. Oh, nope. I can't jump. Which way am I going? Let's go this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Hey.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I forgot to hit everything. Was it clicking on the doors that caused it? No, I don't think that was it. Okay.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Did we? Nah, I want to stay in here. Let me stay in here. You can make doors appear out of nowhere. I don't want to follow along. Let me out. Let me out. Can I get out?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Nope. We're going back. Actually, it's gonna force me to go that way. Okay.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be
Why
doing,
don't we just
how
start
about this?
over?
You win!
Hey!
Congratulations!
We won.
I know you put in a lot of hard work,
We
and it
won.
really paid off. So, good job.
I want to thank my mama,
Oh, no.
my daddy,
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
my grandma.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square,
Hey,
and this was not one of those
This is an
situations.
honest win. I broke your game.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, the Stanley Parable. Adventure line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Let's not follow the adventure. Oh.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Let me just click away. I'm gonna click away. Can I go the opposite way? Nope. I don't want to follow your line. Which way are we going? Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
I made a
You know
circle.
what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay, that is loud. It is pretty epic, though. How is that doing that? What happens if I go backwards to Just stop the music. Stop the music. Stop the music. We're going to the door number 1. Okay, narrator, you can stop the music at any time. Any time you can stop the music. That's trippy. That's trippy.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at
Thank
that
you.
fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay, that was just trippy, that whole segment. That whole segment, that was just trippy as...
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
A restart again. We're pissing off the narrator.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Sure. Not that I have any choice.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Dragons. Give me dragons.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I acknowledged it. It went up.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending. I got the confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why
Find
do
the
I
line
get to
again.
decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I
There's
don't
no
want it
longer
to be.
an office.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
There's
I
no
don't want to be
longer an
trapped like
office,
this.
simply
I
black
won't
space,
restart
wander
the
in the
game. I
blackness, find
won't
a
do
bookstore,
it.
get
I
bored,
won't
leave.
do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Did we do it?
Whatever
Did
it
we
is
break
that
the
made
cycle?
this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
The heck was that?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Which way we going, Doc?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which way we going,
Yet
Doc?
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
my
Stanley decided to
room
go up
closet's
to his
still
boss's
locked.
office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all...
Bye-bye. Shut. Can't open it. I can only go one direction. One direction. Alright, give me just a second, you guys. Alright, where are we going? We can't go anywhere. But back. Back to where it all began. There's the wandering blackness. Of course it is. 760 to the escape pod. Round and around and around we go. Where it stops, nobody knows. Nobody. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. I cannot sing for nothing. Alright. Escape pod. Escaping. Wander in blackness for a while. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's go one more.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood truth. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh, has
There's
it?
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Oh,
Someone
has
you've
it been?
forgotten about. Please,
Really?
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm
Okay,
asking for
Mom.
her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You...
Let's see. How does this end?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
I can't move.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No. Nope.
Sorry, but you're in my
Oh,
story
that
now.
scared the hell out of me. Hey there,
This is a
honey.
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Press 8 on my keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
To spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy.
Hold on.
And so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. Compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Alright, you guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. If you happen to have liked it, hit that subscribe button down there for me, so that way, and hit the notification bell button, so that way you can be notified whenever I go live, post a video, and all that good jazz. But I've been streaming for a little bit now, and I'm gonna call it a night. You all have a wonderful night. Goodbye.